welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to do a quick video today about the Polkadot and its upcoming ecosystem, namely the Parachain auctions, as I've been getting a lot of questions about these lately. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a bit about Polkadot. We're going to talk about how to create your own Polkadot JS wallet. This is kind of the equivalent to a MetaMask in the Ethereum world, and then funding it with some DOT from Binance in particular. And after that, we'll talk about how the Parachain auctions work. Then we'll get into contributing either via Binance or using the Polkadot wallet and contributing to the projects directly. So what makes Polkadot different? Well, namely, Polkadot is a layer 0, which is much different from things like an Ethereum or a Cardano or Solana, which are layer 1 protocols. And so what exactly is a layer 0? Well, layer 0 is basically a layer underneath the smart contract that ties all layer 1s together. And so that gives the interoperability between different applications that most other projects struggle with, right? And so these parachains, what they're actually competing for are the layer 1 spots that are to be written on top of the Polkadot layer 0, what they call meta protocol, or the relay chain that the parachains sit on top of. And all that really means is easy interoperability and shared security model, right? Which leads into the next slide. Why build on Polkadot? Well, you get plug-and-play security through Polkadot's proof-of-stake validator network, and you get that cross-chain interoperability built right in. Not to mention EVM capability as well. So who's on the project team for Polkadot? I mean, I was preaching about looking at the team if you want to know if a project is going to do well. And this team, obviously a complete all-star team. Dr. Gavin Woods, first off, he's the one that actually was the CTO of Ethereum, working alongside Vitalik Buterin in building the original Ethereum virtual machine. He's also the leader of the Web3 Foundation. He's done it all. He's been incredible for the space and renowned in the space for quite some time. Not too many better candidates than Dr. Gavin Woods to be leading a team. Maybe Charles Hoskins, as he was also part of that Ethereum team and then broke off to write Cardano. Next, you got Peter Sven, probably said that wrong, Technology Director and Web3 Foundation. He's also got a fantastic background. He's got his Master's of Engineering degree from Oxford. Obviously no slouch in himself. And then finally, you got Robert Habermeer, a researcher, and more importantly, what he brings is the Rust community. So he is a Rust developer, and that is a development standard. So he brings that standard to Polkadot. So what's the potential for Cardano? Well, if we look at just the top 8 projects. I mean, I've cut Bitcoin off as obviously that's number 1, but notice that every one of these other projects, aside from the stablecoin in Tether and XRP, they're all smart contract platforms, and so huge potential. The layer 1s are going to do really great, and Polkadot being a layer 0, setting itself apart, got a lot of potential, and it sits at a market cap of we're in our $46 billion right now. Sorry, this is a bit of an older screenshot as I did this for my group about 2 weeks ago. So slightly higher than that now, but it's got plenty of room to run. Ethereum sits at almost 10x to that, or greater than 10x at the time of this screenshot, at $483 billion. Okay, so let's talk about setting up a wallet, right? So the first thing you need to do is go to the website polkadot.js.org. And there's a couple things that you'll notice on this page. But first off, you want to go to extensions. Okay, that's the second option. So just click on the link below here. It'll take you to the Polkadot extensions, and assuming you're using Google Chrome, just download for Chrome. This will also work for Brave browser, by the way. That's what I use, and so yeah, both options work there. Okay, and then once that's done, just add to Chrome, add the extension for easy access, and you'll see There now, there's a little P right there. So you click on the puzzle piece here, and just turn the pin blue in order to keep it pinned to your menu here. Right. And then click on it to create a new wallet. And so just a few warnings. And you got to make sure you understand that. Basically, the fact is that they're not collecting any information, so it's relatively safe to be doing this. Click the plus to create the wallet. Right. Here are the seed phrases. This is just a test wallet, so I'm not too worried about showing the seed phrase. But anyways, make sure you keep it safe. This is basically your bank account, and so if you share these words, these seed phrase 12-word mnemonic with anybody, they will have full control of your wallet. Right. Click that you've saved your mnemonic phrase or written it down. Probably a better means rather than saving it to your laptop where anybody that breaks into it could easily access it. And hit next. Right. For network, make sure you pick the Polkadot relay chain and then give it a meaningful name. I just named it Manesh's Test Polkadot Wallet 2 as I screwed it up the first time. All right. And then create a password for that account that's secure and only known to you. Okay. Now that we've created a Polkadot wallet, you can go into your Binance account, right? And then click on Wallet. After logging in, click on Wallet, Fiat and Spot. And then you can search for DOT rather than scrolling through the list of coins. And select to withdraw. Okay. First thing you need to do is you're going to take the wallet address for Polkadot. I didn't point it out, but your wallet address you'd be able to get just by clicking on here and then clicking on your actual account. Right, and you'll easily get your wallet address from there. Then you're going to select the DOT Polkadot network, and then enter the amount of DOT that you want to withdraw from Binance and send to your Polkadot.js wallet. Essentially, the amount of money, amount of DOT that you want to delegate to any project. Okay. So let's talk about parachain actions. So what to do next? Well, the first thing is to look into the actual projects themselves that are potentially going to be vying for parachain elections. And here are two really great websites. And so I'm just going to take you through these real quick. So first one is this parachains.info/projects. And here you can see that there are a total of 153 projects. You can see just a high-level breakdown of what's going on. So Polkadot, Parachain elections #1 coming up, and 6 projects are on for crowd loans. And no live auctions yet. We know that those will be starting next week. Whereas Kusama has had 12 parachain elections already. Crowd loans completed at 12, and 13. They're on the 13th auction at the moment. Okay. You can see that so far, 1% of the total supply of Polkadot has been locked away into these parachains. And for Kusama, they're already up to 28% of their total supply that's been locked away. But the more important thing, you can ignore the first two. These are native projects, but you can see are the different projects. And you can see, when you see a bird, that's the Kusama Canary Network. And so these are projects that are going for Kusama, but we're more interested in Polkadot. So we'll just scroll down and you can see here that the first project is Acala. And if you look across the columns here, what you can see is the number of Web3 grants that they've received, the number of investors. These are large VC type investors. You can click on this and get information about them and who they are. And you can see their GitHub activity. GitHub is essentially the way that we can get a glimpse into the development activity going on in a project, as GitHub is an open source development platform. And obviously, Acala being one of the highest rated projects, its activity level is at 99, and you can see that it's very active, right? I'm just going to click on here and open this in a new tab, because investors are actually quite important. So we come into investors, What you see is, here goes 32 investors, show more investors, but you can see like there are some really big names that are invested in quite a number of these. Digital Currency Group being absolutely massive. Alameda Research Group, I mean, these guys have hit it out of the park with pretty much everything they've ever touched. Well, honestly, so is DSG or DCG. Pantera Capital is extremely well known as well. You can go down this list and you're going to see quite a number of really big names in this space. So this is yet another reason why I'm very, very bullish on Acala. Right? But these are the types of things that you're going to want to look for. The Web3 grants, as you can see, that they're definitely got the support from the Web3 Foundation, the different investors, and their development activity. Right? You can also see here with this little red bar as to where they're at. They've already announced, they've tested, and now they're at the auction phase, and hopefully going to go live on Polkadot. Right? And so you can go down the list and actually see all the projects that you might be looking into. Okay. You scroll back up to the top. If you want to just filter by Polkadot instead of Kusama, in the next list with Kusama, you can just hit Polkadot here. And this will now give you all the Polkadot projects. And these are the ones that are all aiming for Parachain slots. So you can see that they're all at the auction phase. Right. One of the other ones that isn't receiving nearly as much hype is Astar. And you can see that they've actually received quite a number of the Web3 grants. Okay, I'm going to flip over to the other website. And this is polkaproject.com/#/rank. And here you can actually see by development activity over the last month, which project's been the most active, right? And if they're trending upwards or downwards. Okay, so maybe this is maybe not as informative as the other site, but it does definitely break down the development activity a little bit further and a little more granularly. And so I definitely still like this site as well. Okay. How do parachain auctions work? And most of the information, basically all the information I got in this section here was from Dan Reeser at Acala. He's put together an incredible library of information on his Twitter, so highly suggest you guys follow him at Dan Reeser. All right. So 2 different ways that you can do. Bid with team funds from a single account. That's basically if a project had a huge amount of seed money or venture capital money, they could just go buy, $100 million and just support themselves. Right? But the method that basically all projects that we've seen so far are using are to host a crowd loan. And this is where they're getting funds using the auction process. And so that's where we'll be able to delegate some DOT and receive their tokens in return for the support that we're providing. How do parachain auctions work? Well, essentially, the DOT that you contribute is a loan. Right? And it's a loan for approximately 2 years. It's just under 2 years. And that basically shows your support or the community support for that project being important to the Parachain, important to the Polkadot ecosystem. And so it will have a period of about a week to delegate our DOT in order to show support for a particular project. In return for that, as I mentioned, you'll be rewarded with tokens from that parachain. And once the 2-year lease is up, you get your original Polkadot DOT tokens back, right? And so, yeah, I get it. 2 years in the crypto world, that's a hell of a long time, and you never know what exactly is going to happen in the next 2 years. And we could go through a massive bear market, and maybe you don't want to be holding your DOT tokens for that long. So that is the risk, right? That you'll be left holding these tokens because they're locked up and not be able to sell them. But in return, you'll get tokens from another project that are potentially going to be very valuable. Now, there is a workaround, and I'll talk about the workaround to having all of your DOT locked up. So How do the parachain auctions work? Well, first step is the crowd goes live, right? And so there's this period of time called the warm up, which is essentially what we're in right now. And that warm up is going to last for a full week. 1 week or 2 weeks? I might be wrong on that. I think it's a week, but it might be 2 weeks, right? And then there will be the actual parachain slot auction. And at the end of the auction lasts for another week, then we'll get a parachain slot winner from that, right? So there are a batch of 5 parachain auctions that are coming up. Each of them will run for a week consecutively. And so there are 8 projects right now. They're vying for those 5 spots. Right? And the parachain slot duration is, like I said, 2 years. I think it's like 96 weeks. So just under the 2 years. Okay, so this is how the parachain action actually works. So here's the opening period. So this is the time they get to basically delegate your dot. Things have opened up a bit earlier than they expected. And so this 2 days is actually going to be a lot longer. I think it ends up being 7 days here, right? Then the parachain auction starts, and then so you got 5 days of the parachain auction. And anywhere in this 5 days, a winner can be named, right? So at the end of the 7, they may say, okay, whoever was in the lead at 5 o'clock on day 4 is actually the winner. And so then they'll look back at the records and see who had the most dot delegated to them at this time. Okay. In this example, they've got showing that parachain B has 10 million and parachain A has 50 million, but that's on day 3. So that situation could have changed by day 4. Right? So it's not who has the most at the end, it's the random generated somewhere in between day 3 and day 7 that it'll be measured from. And that's why all the parachains are going to make a hard push to have all of their contributions completed in this opening period or the warm-up period. Okay, so how do you win a parachain auction? How do parachain auctions work? That's essentially what I just described to you there. Crowds go live. Parachain auction. They're showing the winner is somewhere right in between, probably somewhere on day 3. In this example, Acala, a 50 million dot is launched in the relay chain, not to team, and Acala wins the slot auction, right? And so now Acala gets a parachain for 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years, the dot is returned to the supporters. Or you may just choose to leave it with Acala because they would probably go for another 2-year lease on their parachain. Okay, and so there are going to be 5 parachain auctions. Once these 5 are done, they'll release another batch of 5 parachain auctions, and they'll kind of happen back to back to back. And so I know that we got a much longer warm-up period this time. The next 4 auctions after the auction 1, it'll only be 2 days, and then the auction 2 days auction. So each of these will last just for a week. Okay, now that you know how parachain auctions work, let's make a contribution. First, we're going to do it through Binance, as Binance is supporting the parachain elections. I know that Kraken, KuCoin, OKX, I believe also, all of them are supporting it. So Binance is the app that I use, and so I'm going to show you guys how to do it through Binance, but those other options are available as well if you wanted to contribute through an exchange rather than directly to the projects. So in Binance, on the home screen, you'll see that there's now this Polkadot auctions option. So you're just going to click that. If you don't see it there, you can also go into the earn section, and you'll also see Polkadot auctions there as well. Okay. Then you can see once you go in there, you'll see that there are all these projects. Here's the first 3: Moonbeam, Clover, Astar. And if you want to delegate your dot to them, all you do is vote. Hit the vote button, and you'll be able to then send it through. And you can see what the current APY is on any of the early contributions. Right? If you want to learn more information about any of these projects, just click on this little eye, and you'll learn a lot about the projects, just in summary, as well as some of the token distribution. Okay. Then this window will pop up, and you'll enter the amount of dot that you want to delegate, right? Got to agree, and then confirm and that will then officially cast your vote and delegate your dot. Right? But before that happens, there are some things that are to be understood, right? And so it's letting you know that 716 days is your obligation now that you're going to be locking up your dot for, right? And so you won't have any access to that dot. However, as I was saying, there are some workarounds. And so what Binance is going to be doing is they're going to be issuing a liquid B dot token, which is essentially pegged against your stake dot, right? So you'll get one B dot for every dot that you do stake or delegate to the project. This B dot is essentially a claim check for your actual dot in 2 years or 716 days. This B dot is promised to be issued to the delegators within 45 days of the auction closing, right? But just understand, B dot is not going to be worth exactly what dot is worth because it's a claim check for dot 2 years from now. So there's going to be a bit of a penalty you'll likely pay for the risk of having to hold for 2 years. Okay. Now, let's make a contribution through the actual Polkadot.js wallet. So this is like making a contribution directly to the projects, not going through an exchange. Okay. And Acala is the example I'm going to use. Right. Now, there is a 5% bonus that you can get through Acala. And so this is one of the benefits of contributing directly to them. And so here's the link to get a 5% bonus on your Acala contributions. I'll post this link in the description of this video as well. Okay, but make sure you use it if you're gonna contribute Acala directly, as it's a free 5% for you. Okay, but once you click on that link, it'll take you to this page, and you'll want to hit Contribute Now. Okay. In order to now, Acala is also offering a liquid dot. They call it the LC dot token. And the only way you're going to get that is if you hit the contribute and stay liquid option, okay? So don't hit contribute directly because that essentially means you just want to contribute and you don't care to get liquid dot. There is no penalty in taking this liquid dot, so definitely take it. Okay, here's again a very, very good description and summary of the process that we have already gone over for the Parachain elections. But the main thing is that you just basically have to hit yes to all three of these. Yes, you have the Polkadot.js browser extension. I have dot in my Polkadot.js account, and the dot is unbound, right? So it's available to delegate. And scroll down. And there's a button here to connect to the wallet. And so just connect your wallet. It's exactly like MetaMask again. So it'll just ask you to, if you are okay to connect here to this website. Okay, sorry about that. And you're going to, you'll see how much dot you have that's unlocked and available. So I got 16.2. Do not leave less than 1 dot in your wallet. I've learned this the hard way, unfortunately. And so if you have, say, 0.99 dot in your wallet, which is exactly what I had, because I forgot to account for a transaction fee, you will have your dot swept by the Polkadot system. They essentially go through all wallets and just sweep any wallet with anything less than 1 full dot in it in order to keep their network clean. Right? So I'm delegating 15 out of the 16.2 to leave 1.2 minus a very small transaction fee in my wallet, so I don't end up losing another almost full dot. All right. And then it gives you an estimated range because this is a minimum. The minimum is 3. That's if they get a full allocations of contributors. But if they don't, as of right now, you'll get up to 451. So that's about 30 dot. So yeah, it's right here. It's 30 Acala per dot, right? But the later in the process we get, the closer and closer it'll get to this 3 number per dot that you can contribute. Okay, and it's showing you that you're going to get 15 of the LC liquid dot and the 5% bonus, 2.25 additional Acala tokens. Okay, and you scroll down a little further and just plug in your email address and hit agree. Might as well stay up to date if you're going to make these contributions with what's going on. And then again, just the details here again. All right. And just notice that at the unlock, it's 20% you're going to get of your Acala, and then they'll further release those as we go. And they just don't want to create a big dump on the market as soon as they're all released, right? So that's actually great for us as contributors and believers in the project. Okay, and then simply submit. Okay. Next thing that'll happen, again, you'll be asked for approval for this transaction from your Polkadot.js wallet. So you're going to click in your password for the account and sign the transaction. And bang, there you go. You have now contributed. You get a little congratulations, thanks for support, and it gives you your total position and what you should expect. Right. So it's showing me that I got 1.16 dot remaining in my wallet. So the transaction fee was 0.04 on doing the math backwards on that. And it's just letting me know approximately what my reward will be from Acala. And that's it. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. Best of luck. I hope you guys take advantage of this opportunity, as these projects, especially this first 8 projects, all of them are fantastic. Moonbeam, Astar, as well as Acala. I think they're all fantastic. And so is Affinity. I could go on and on. All 8 of the projects are solid projects, and definitely worth considering. And with the model that's been designed here, it can be very lucrative. If you look back at what the Kusama Parachains, that's the canary network for Polkadot, what that did, the returns were phenomenal for anybody that got involved. And so I would highly encourage you guys to get involved. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thank you.